First off, I mean, you've kind of been revolutionizing the whole game for a while now. I noticed for these shows, you do the check drop after the show.
Yeah, have to
Smart.
do that.
Yeah, how come you don't think more comics do that?
More comics should. And I think like I'm sure I'm not the first person to do this, but like just can't because you have no leverage. Like you in the beginning, like you don't get to choose who opens for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like then you start selling tickets and you got a little more leverage because you're making the club money. A lot of
Yes.
times, club is losing money on you, so they're like, "Why the fuck is this guy telling me when to pay the checks?"
Yeah.
You know.
True.
So like, the second we got to that point, for me, I'm in a place where, now because of COVID, it was tricky, but like I would just play the theater.
Right.
You know, so we just tell them, okay, we'll just play the theater, and then they go, okay, fine. We'll do the check drop afterwards.
That's smart. Yeah, success definitely brings leverage.
Yeah.
The better you do, the
But
more
who
you
wants
can
to do
stretch it.
math during the show? Like it's
Yeah.
so
It's.
disruptive, dude. You
I
get
know.
up there for this. Is what happens? Like I get up there and I'm on stage for 15 minutes. We get into a nice rhythm, and then the entire crowd for the next 30 minutes is paying checks.
Yeah.
And if they're not paying checks, the people next to them are, and they're talking, they're splitting bills. It's just the worst. Why
Yeah.
anybody would think that this is like a smart business model for entertainment is besides me.
Oh yeah, it's dark. Everybody's got to run around. They're bending down. Hey, can you pay this right now? Yeah, it does interrupt the show.
And
It does
comedy's like
mess with it.
Minesweeper, where like if like you know that game Minesweeper,
Yeah.
like where you click one box and then all the boxes around it also
Yeah.
go away. Like that's talking at a table.
Yes.
Like if this table's talking, this table can't concentrate because they're listening to that person. So now you lose all of them. So I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
for
it's
the show.
contagious for sure.
We're not doing checks anymore.
For
Fuck
sure,
that.
dude. That's how it should totally be in every club. I think we'll get there soon enough.
Yeah.
Dude, just to describe your podcast and your content, I love what you guys do because you come at everything with kind of a well-informed, kind of skeptical thought process, but yet it still has the kind of pure, innocent joy of like elementary school kids hanging out at recess.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how,
yeah,
because like what separates you guys from everybody else, I feel like, is that you guys are clearly having so much fun.
Yeah, we just want to have fun. We laugh. Like,
Yeah.
we're there to laugh at each other's jokes and like at ourselves and embarrass ourselves. This is literally just recreating our friend groups from our entire life. Like everybody here is friends. We all hang out outside of the podcast. This is not a job for us. And I mean, it is. Maybe I'm the only one that can say that, but this is what I want to do. I want to hang out, I want to talk shit, and I want to have like crazy hot takes about the world. But we're going into it going like we don't care if it's right.
Yeah.
Like we say it all the time. It's just feelings, no facts.
Yeah, it's relatable. It is the bunch of folks hanging out, just
Yeah.
talking about whatever's
How do you feel?
the topic. Yeah, how do you feel?
Just
For
how
sure.
do you fucking feel about
See,
something?
you definitely have kind of a curiosity for the truth, too, I would say.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you want to get down to
There's
what...
space for the truth.
Yeah,
But like for me, the truth is often the feeling,
okay.
right? Like how do I explain? Like for me, like if I was to break down kind of what I do comedically, like I've always like busting people's balls. Like when I know
Sure.
somebody's really into something, not only making fun of them, but like I know when someone's really passionate about something, they can be really angry at something. I like to poke holes in their anger.
Sure.
Like even before I ever did comedy, I would do that.
Okay.
You know, so it's like if my friends thought that they were really righteous and virtuous about
Mm-hmm.
a certain thing, I would find ways to make them feel like they weren't, and it would drive them fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And like comedically, that's what I'm doing. It's just like it's weird that the things you do as a kid, like all of a sudden they start becoming like who you are as a comic.
Yeah.
Right. Like that type of sense of humor is baked in already. You just got to find it after years of doing it, and like that's just kind of what happens. You know, it's like whatever people are outraged by. I like explaining why they shouldn't be outraged.
I mean, that's a great idea. Because, yeah, I mean,
Yes.
not only is it comedy, but it is also the concept of going past just humor. You're
Yeah,
looking
it's
into people's
fun.
psyche. Why is society like this? Why do we think this stereotype? What's
that's
going on?
truth to me. It's not like what's 2 + 2. It's like why do you feel this way?
Yeah, the motivation behind things I think is really
Yeah,
important.
Yes.
Yeah. So you do a lot of crowd work stuff, you know, absolutely amazing. When did you kind of realize that you were really strong at crowd work, and how did you start diving into that?
Kind of happened. I don't know. I'd always fuck with people in the crowd. I think it always happened. I didn't really see myself as like a guy who like did crowd work or like a crowd work type of comic. I don't even see myself as it specifically now, but I put out a special and
Yeah.
it did really well. And then all these clips that we put out, because I don't want to put out the material until I do specials.
don't want to burn this.
Exactly. So like they are of these interactions, and then what happened was is, like people started seeing them, and like they would tap in all these different communities, and I learned in a weird way that like people are way more tolerant of you making fun of another like race, sex, or culture if you're doing it right to their
Directly.
face.
Yeah, of course.
It's not like it's a bunch of white people in a room and then making fun of Jamaicans that aren't even there.
Yeah.
The Jamaican is there.
Yeah.
And they're dying.
And he's laughing.
And
Yeah,
so
exactly.
who are you offended for?
Yeah.
So we learned this kind of thing, and like all these people started coming out, and it just became like this crazy experience where like FOMO started kicking in. Like people felt like they need to be at.
They
the
got to
show.
see
Like,
this. Yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
I got to
tonight.
witness this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a comedy show, and it's also an event.
Yeah.
We're going. Schulz is in town. What the hell is going to happen?
What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So we want to keep on creating those moments. Like,
Yeah.
what is gonna happen?
And I would say, I mean, dude, yeah, exactly. So it's not even as much. Yeah, you're not really a crowd work comic. You're a great comic overall. The crowd work stands out because you put the clips out of that as well. But
I love crowd work. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like the guys that I always loved worked the crowd.
Yeah.
Like Patrice, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
people I looked up to, like they were people who like almost blended their material into the crowd. So it was really cool to kind of like become this organically.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've noticed too, because you go up with topics in your head, and then
Yeah.
there's a lot of riffs around that topic.
Basically.
So,
yeah.
like, you'll go up and you're thinking Prince Harry, and then it's like, how many different directions can you go with this? And then you kind of, I've noticed, you tailor from one show to the other. If something hit well, you can kind of go different directions from that.
Yeah.
Branch out more and more. And, dude, I would say this too. Out of all the comics and everybody trying to do things on social media, I feel like you're the first comic who also organically is kind of a social media star.
Yeah.
I've never seen a comic do it as well as you do with like vlogs and dropping in and stuff. Dude, you're doing all the things that like the social media stars who don't have a talent do.
Yeah.
But you're doing it as a stand-up comedian. So it's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're like the OG new school dude.
That's what we were thinking. Like, I mean, I always credit like Russell Peters as like the first YouTube guy because he blew up from a YouTube video.
Okay.
Maybe he didn't know that. Maybe that wasn't his intention. Like, I'm gonna blow up from this, but
Yeah.
yeah, to go do that. But yeah, I looked at all the people who were like big in that space as I was starting to get, some popularity in the YouTube and social media space, and I was like, hold on, like, what if we did vlogs, but we're also comics? Like, we're gonna be funnier than these people.
Oh yeah.
And like we're gonna tie into the shows, and I don't know.
It really is the best of all worlds, I feel like. Even the concept of like turning the phone thing you were
that
doing
was
for a while.
cool.
Dude, nobody's ever done anything like that.
It's crazy to see like these like car companies do it, like now Audi and
Right.
shit. Like,
Dude,
you
this
see
is
Louis
you.
Vuitton and stuff doing it,
Right.
you're like, whoa, that's pretty wild.
Dude, that is cool. Yeah, to see firsthand your influence on not just comedy, but like
Right.
marketing in general and the world
Yeah.
itself.
I mean, who
It's-
knows it? Maybe they found it from someone else. I'm sure we're not the first, but hey, listen, I'll
for
take
sure.
it.
No, for sure. And that's a comic's brain too, to be like, not me. No. But yeah, dude. So just a bigger general question. So what gets you excited, just in anything? What gets you excited in life? Comedy. What do you look forward to? What are you thinking about?
I still love just performing for the people. Obviously, wanting to be the greatest at whatever thing we're doing. So, if it's podcasting, if it's, stand up, innovation really excites me. I want to put out I'm going to put out a special. So wanting to make sure that's unique and different. And
Yeah.
so all those things really, really excite me. But I just like this new tour that we're going to do. I think we're going to have some fun with and create some cool things, but like, yeah, just kind of like shaking things up and blending the arts a bit, like we did a fucking country song because why not?
Yeah.
Like if that's what we want to do, we're going to do it. Like anything we want to do, I just want to execute. I'm not going to be limited ever by, the preconceived notions of a comic doing music or something like that. Like if I want to do it, I'll make it hot.
Dude, for sure.
And
I mean, yeah, we worked together probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was pretty amazing because you were talking about all these things that you're doing now at that time. And it was pretty amazing to see you literally straight up manifest it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And you did it and you're doing it. And you are literally, head of the game. You're setting the curve now. Do you have any kind of thoughts of like, you changed so much with all the social media posts and all this and that. Do you see any kind of trend of what's the future of comedy? What's going to happen next?
That's a good question. And also, I got to give a lot of credit to like my guys, man. You know,
Yeah.
Alex, Mark, and like Robbie, and like all the people that have been part of the team, Akash, and like all these guys have been instrumental in these things that we've been making. So, But yeah, like what's gonna happen next in it? Like this
Yeah.
summer is gonna be wild. I think it's gonna be there's gonna be a party. Comics are gonna continue putting out material.
Hmm.
Um, a lot. I think that you're gonna see. Here's the thing. We're in like a stable time right now.
Okay.
Like with Biden, right? There's like
Yeah.
stability.
It
Like
finally
there's
feels calm.
it's the calm, and calm is never good for comedy,
No.
right? Like calm is the worst thing for comedy. So sometimes comedy gets weird in calm.
Okay, because now we have more time to just think about.
Yeah, it gets
what
abstract.
It gets,
like a
yeah, it
Zach
gets abstract.
Galifianakis pops up in times
Okay.
of calm. Like
Sure.
like in times of instability, like a Trump time, that's where like and there's no disrespect to Zach, but like that's where like the traditional comics thrive. Like a Pryor
Sure.
thrives or something like that. A Carlin thrives, a Chris
Yeah.
Rock, like Patrice, like they thrive in those times because they're addressing what people feel,
Right.
but what's too volatile to say. Right, and then in times where everything's good, it's like anything can be said. So
Right.
or
So
there
now we
needs
can-
to be said. So
okay,
now let's
for
be
sure.
abstract and stuff, and like
Yeah.
so that could be where we go. We'll see how long the shelf life is. I mean, Biden could be out of here after 4 years, and we
Yeah.
could have inflation, no gas. It could
Trump
be
could be back.
Trump could be back.
Could
You
be
never
back.
know, but like culturally, it's dependent on like what the people need. I feel a big party vibe this summer.
Okay.
Like the
I can see
tour
that.
we're going on, like I'm kind of mapping after like what I saw Delirious. Remember Delirious? Like when he was flying all around, and do you remember like the behind the scenes kind of Delirious
I
footage?
don't remember the behind the scenes stuff.
It's like it's in it, but he's like flying around. Like we're not doing jets. Maybe who knows?
Maybe.
But just that like, hey, this is an extravagant event. This is
Yeah.
exciting. This is a party. Like everybody get back out, go out, make out with people in the fucking stands. Like sneak off to the bathroom. Fuck. Like let's have a party. And hear some wild shit, say some wild shit. We all just came back from war. You know that
Right.
scene where like the sailor is kissing the woman
Yeah.
in the street?
That's gonna be the show.
That's the show. Like, let's make that happen.
That'll be your flyer. It'll
Yeah.
be you kissing
Yeah.
whoever you're opening. Whoever's open.
It's Mark.
Yeah, you and Mark. He's got the hair coming down. Yeah, that's perfect. Do you think like VR or anything, NFT type stuff? You hear that? You think that'll ever play a role in what we're doing?
I think it's hard, man. Like, I mean, you could do VR comedy, but you might as well just watch it on your TV. Like, why do
Right.
I need to be in the room?
Yeah.
Like, why do I need to be in the room and then looking around this way and seeing other people? Like, I just need to
Right.
see the guy on stage. And then if you're not in the room, the tension is just different.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, there's
there's-
nothing like being there.
Yeah.
It's like sporting events too.
Yeah.
You can watch it on TV, but you see if you're there in person, you see different angles, you see
Yeah.
subtle things
You feel the
that
energy.
you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Is there some sort of ultimate goal in your head, or is it just we're going and we're seeing as we go?
Always change. I mean, like, as you achieve things, new things change,
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we want to create that Turn Your Phone show. And when I did that, I was like, all right, I want to do this. I want it to blow the fuck up. And then I want to do a Netflix special. And then we did it. We blew it up. And then we did a Netflix special. So it's like you start achieving these things. And then you got to start thinking of new dreams to
Yeah.
do. Like, and a lot of those dreams are personal too.
Sure.
Not
yeah.
just career. Like, you start achieving certain things in your career that allow you to do things in your personal life, and be that get married, start a family, these types of things. So those also become my dreams.
And that's definitely a great feeling to have too, to achieve
Yeah.
dreams one at a time and then go, okay, what can we do now?
Yeah.
So as far as your success so far, I would definitely attribute, the hard work, the team, innovation. Is there anything else too where you'd say like, this is what my mindset was, this is how I got to where I am?
I just believed that I deserved it.
Yeah.
I know that's like a weird thing, but like I think I was talking to Robbie the other day, like not that I deserved it, like deserved it is weird, like that I deserved it if I worked hard for it.
Right.
Right? Like there are some people they think even if they work hard they don't deserve it, and it's like you're never going to get something that you don't feel like you deserve. So when you get things, you don't feel like you deserve them. You're like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. How the fuck can I have this? But like, those like pastors that preach the wealth gospel.
Which is what? What's
Like
that?
you're gonna be rich if you just think about
Oh,
money and
sure.
all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff
yeah.
like that. Like at first it's fucked up that they're using God as a way to like
Yeah.
manipulate these people. But that's super valuable because there's a lot of people out there that don't believe that they should have that.
Right.
They don't believe they should have that success. So they're just going, yo, you deserve success. You can get rich or you can be successful. You can do all these things. And then once you believe you can, you start solving the problems on how to get it.
Right.
If you don't believe you can, You're not even gonna solve the problems I had to get it because you're not even in a space where you think it should happen.
Right.
So I think a huge advantage I had was like even from the beginning going, yeah, I can be successful if I work really hard. If I work harder than everybody and there's some luck, I can do it. And I think I didn't have to get over the biggest hump, which is I deserve it.
True.
But that's a huge hump for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why do you think so many people just think they don't deserve good things?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
You think it's just
that's the privilege I have for sure.
Right. You think it's just life has held them down, or society's telling them they're not good enough? Or...
Maybe that. Maybe some parental stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it could be that.
Especially with the arts too, because it's so hard to break out in any sort of artistic thing.
I never had that feeling.
You never had a feeling of I don't know if I can do this. Or
No. I've never had the feeling of like it's hard to break out. I've never had that perspective. No.
Okay, so you think anybody can do it?
No.
No.
I just never had that feeling.
Okay, just you've never had that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I could lie, but I just never. I like analyzed who were the funniest, and I was like, okay, they're really fucking funny. But if I work really hard, then I will be able to be that funny. And once I'm that funny, I'll find ways to get myself out there to the world.
Yeah,
But like that's even when we made the country music song, like we did it with these guys that are so fucking talented at music. But I was like, yeah, of course it's gonna be a great song. And people are like, why would you think it's going to be? And I was like, well, what value does Thingy Is not bring?
Yeah, of course.
Like,
yeah, you should always be optimistic. I think so. Yeah, be positive. Think everything you do could be the next.
And like I'm super hard on myself, but I believe I could do things. I guess there's that. I'm not like the ugly bitch that thinks they're fine walking around and like completely lying.
Yeah, you have
themselves.
proof that you're dope.
But like I'm also the hardest on me.
Yeah.
So I'm like I have the highest standards for myself, but I'm super hard. But I'm like we can do it.
Yeah.
So I think there's that balance. It's tricky, man. But I understand that there's a mental component to this shit that a lot of people underestimate.
Wow.
And it's like you just got to believe you could do shit. It's like, this is what it is. You know how like once somebody beat the 5-minute mile, the 4-minute mile, or whatever it was, like immediately 9 other people did it right afterwards.
Sure.
Right? Like once Tony Hawk did the 900, a bunch of other people did the 9. Now you have 14-year-olds doing 900s.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So there's a mental block to what we can physically do. So I'm less blocked. Like, I just think we could do anything. We could do anything. So I don't have the block, so I just start breaking down how to do it. They said that guy like visualized it. The guy who ran the mile, he visualized running it under that time, and like for whatever reason, believing that you could do that shit, it just works, man. It is crazy how that is. But I also recognize that there are not a lot of people that do that.
True.
But you're not gonna go past what you think you could do.
Yeah, I mean, thoughts are definitely a huge role in everything and achieving anything. It seems like you live a relatively healthy life, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think the healthier you are, the better your thoughts are going to be too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who don't have the access to, a good diet or exercise or a good living situation, yeah, those thoughts can hold them down. Whereas I think once you live healthy, you get better thoughts and you can actually have the ability to manifest what you want to do.
Yeah, sure.
So healthy life, healthy thoughts.
Yeah, I guess it's tough. I mean, maybe I don't have the typical like comedian background in terms of. I mean, everybody's got their issues and stuff, but the typical comedian background is this like brutal childhood,
right?
Bullied and all this other stuff, and that's molested. That's the only way you can like make things funny. And it's like, nah, fam. Like, funny exists. You just find it. Nobody's making nothing funny.
True.
Funny exists, and then you found that funny.
Yeah, I guess maybe the brutal background might tend to push people to that sooner because they need it.
They need it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if anything, it's easier for you. You know what I mean? It's like that's a crutch. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh, you had that
lucky.
Yeah. My loving ass parents. You know how hard it was for me to find that shit. I had to push myself through there.
Perfect.
See what I do? The second somebody feels outraged by something, I want to take it away. That is it. That is in essence my truth.
Perfect, dude. Well, dude, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Sure. Tampa News.
2 more shows. Tampa News Force.
Let's go.
That's right, baby. Andrew Schulz, AS, the dude, Andy.
Dang.
We love him. He's the fucking man. Dude, thank you so much. We'll see you in 5 minutes on stage.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good night.